We've just turned off the Kamehameha Highway and we are headed up this kind of windy, rocky dirt road to where there is a wind farm because it's going to be super windy up here, and there's also a barbecue truck. It's called Hi-BBQ truck. It's owned by a couple, Cove and Kate, and they're this like young kind of rock and roll couple from the mainland, but they came to Oahu, to the very northern tip, and they're serving up Memphis-style barbecue. Brisket, pork ribs, pulled pork, and sausage. And customers can take the barbecue out to where there's this absolutely beautiful view of the ocean on the northern tip of Oahu. So we're gonna hang out with them, and I can't wait to try some of this barbecue. Is it a challenge having the food truck up here in this like really beautiful place?
But remote.
But remote?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get people up here?
Signage is a good start, and then even more signage because we kept having people turn around about halfway up because they thought they were gonna get axe murdered. After we started getting a good following though, I actually got a guy that drives from Waianae, which is hour and a half drive depending on traffic.
Wow.
Almost every Saturday. He's coming all the way out here for our brisket, so it's kind of an honor.
Where did you two meet?
We met here via a mutual friend that she was visiting that lives a couple miles from here. They were bored, they came up here, we went down to the gun range, we shot a bunch of shit up, and then she ended up going back.
And it was love.
No, like 2 years went by.
And like 2 years went by and we kept like trying to keep in touch.
I lived in LA.
You were living in LA,
Yeah.
okay.
I worked at LA Models, New York Model Management for like almost 10 years.
So tell me a little bit about the food.
I was just cooking for myself, and I'd had buddies over, and my brother's like, hey, you know, you could probably sell this. I had the truck already because I got it on accident at an auction. You ever like trying to you're like put the first bid up because nobody's bidding on it, and then you get stuck with it?
It's like how you acquire a fire truck.
No, that was actually military auction. We do have a fire truck down back.
What the do you do with a fire truck?
What the don't you do with a fire truck? It was $2 grand and it ran.
All right, so where did the recipes come from?
Developed over time.
And where'd you learn how to cook?
So
She's classically trained.
Yeah,
You
like
are?
classically trained, yeah. No, I learned from 2 chefs over the course of like 5 years. I bought the food and they teach me to cook. And I worked from home, so it's like literally breakfast, lunch, dinner.
But did barbecue incorporate into your food education?
So the smoker is a little bit different, but like the rest of the recipes are pretty much mine.
Are you manning the smoker? Are you, Is that something you learned through trial and error, or did you? Or...
Yeah, somewhat. I spent a lot of time in Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, up through Georgia, the Carolinas, and Tennessee. And you just get a real appreciation for what good like smoked food is.
Tell me a little bit about the brisket.
Basically, it's take it out, thaw it down under controlled conditions in a fridge, trim it up, then you olive oil it up. Then it's a mixture of salt, pepper, a dash of chili flake or red pepper flake, onions in there, garlic's in there, and then a bunch of secret ingredients on top of that. But those are like really basic ingredients that everyone should probably use on a brisket. Apply it, flip it, apply it. You're going for practically as much as you can get to stick to the thing, and then you carefully place it in the smoker so you don't knock it off. The smoke adheres to all the granules, which is really nice, and you end up with a really nice bark.
So what time does this process begin?
About 5 p.m.
Okay. And then it goes overnight.
And they pull it about 11. We actually just pulled one a couple seconds ago. This is the smoker. Built it myself from scratch. Basically pirated a bunch of ideas off the internet and made one big unit out of it. It runs on coal, and then it's got a fan that's run on a thermostat and a brain, if you will. So it's kind of makes a blast furnace. Well, most people, they either regulate their fuel by using a pellet smoker, which puts pellets onto the fire, or they regulate their airflow by vent. We actually pump the air through. So the fan turns off when it's up at temperature, and then as soon as it drops down at a degree, it fires back up, and it just kind of sits there and just rides almost at perfect temperature all night.
I like this bell on the outside.
Yeah, it's like Gorilla Taped on too. Nothing but the best.
I'd like to sample some of your wares.
So the most popular plate's the 18 and over. It's about 1.25 pounds meat. It's brisket, pulled pork, fatty rib, or 2 smaller ribs. And then you could add a link of smoked pineapple sausage on there, or a wedge of fresh pineapple.
Let's do it. Let's do it up. Fantastic.
And would you like anything to drink? We got Coke, Coke Zero, beer. The beer's free.
Bud Light, free beer.
It's not legal to sell beer, but you could give it away.
Is that
Totally
true?
Legal. Yep.
Okay, well then I guess I'll take a free beer.
Okay, cool. You got it? Awesome.
It's really windy. windy. As many of you know who are fans of the show, there's nothing I like more than a cheap American light beer. Yes. Sounds like freedom. I'm gonna start with this pulled pork. Now the pulled pork is shoulder of the animal, typically. It is cooked nice and slow, low and slow. That's good, that's nice and flavorful. Hi-BBQ advertise themselves as Memphis-style barbecue. What does Memphis mean exactly? Well, it means that meats can have a dry rub or a wet rub. Dry rub, salt, pepper, spices, wet rub. Sauce that it's applied before, during, after the meat is cooking. Memphis-style barbecue sauce is usually pretty sticky and sweet. It's got a little bit of a spicy kick, and that's exactly what this is. The meat, tender, some nice little charred bits there. It's really starting to rain really heavily now, so we're gonna get out of here and find some shelter. All right, dudes, we are back. That was a brief little rain delay. We're gonna move on to the main event, which is the brisket. And the brisket is always a test of a barbecue joint. I have a big, thick chunk right here. So you see that rub that he was talking about on the top. You can see that fat cap on the top there. The brisket, which is, you know, the breast of the cow, since cows don't have shoulder bones, it is a tough muscle, takes a lot of the load of the big animal, and can be tough if you don't prepare it properly, which is why you have to cook a tough piece of meat like that low and slow. This is good. It's cooked a long time. It's not tough. There's a good spice mixture on the top that tastes mostly like salt and pepper, but there's a little bit of garlic in there, a little bit of onion, maybe a little paprika, something like that. Brisket is a difficult thing to cook and to cook well. All right, gang. Sausage, pineapple sausage, served festively with a section of pineapple. I love pineapple. Pineapple's great. Here's a tip. Buy pineapple from the store. You know that green frond top? You twist it off, take that top section, peel off a few of the bottom leaves, take that section, put it in a jar of water. So just the base and the roots part are sitting in the water. It will start to grow roots gradually down. Once they've reached, you know, maybe 3-4 inches, you can take it out and you can plant it in soil, and you have a pineapple plant. I've done this before and it works. Grow your own pineapple plant at home, kids. You can do that with an avocado as well, an avocado pit. Okay, so you can see this is a nice looking pork sausage. It's got some bits of pineapple in it. That's very sweet. Sweeter than I thought it would be. It's a nicely spiced pork sausage that has, you know, a decent bit of snap to it. The pineapple gives it a sweetness, but other than that, it tastes like a juicy, salty pork. But it also tastes like there's some additional sugar in there as well. It's a pretty sweet sausage. And now here we have pork spare rib. As you can see, it looks nice and it's got that dry rub on it. It's nice. I like a little bit of a firmer meat on the rib. The dry rub on top gives it a little bit of that sort of earthy, bitter pepper taste, as well as a little bit of a kick of the garlic and the onion. But other than that, this is a solidly done pork rib. Hi-BBQ. Cove and Kate have a really neat business up here. It's worth coming for the scenery alone. It's an incredible 180-degree view of the tip, a northern tip of Oahu. It's absolutely beautiful up here. And the food, the brisket, the pulled pork, it's quite good. And Cove and Kate, they're really leading the way and sort of trailblazing with their truck business here. And I wish them a lot of success. I really hope you enjoyed this episode of Dining on a Dime from the very awesome Hi-BBQ way up on the northern tip of the island of Oahu. If you'd like to watch more, please click here.
Like, oh, how long has this been cooking? And I thought he was gonna say like 18 hours, 24 hours. He was like, I've been cooking this for 60 years.